Hi, my name is George Tallabas, and I'm an associate broker with RE/MAX Executives here in Southwest Idaho. Today is November 23rd, 2020, and I wanted to make this entire video about the Caldwell Idaho Crime Rate, the truth. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I recently had a wonderful couple relocate into Caldwell that admitted to me after they bought the house in Caldwell that they weren't going to live in Caldwell because of all the negativity they heard on the internet about the crime rate. That when things didn't work out on offers that we made farther east, they decided to buy in Caldwell. And the wife told me, when I explained to her what I told her about Caldwell and the history, she said, George, you have to do a video. You have to tell the truth. So here I am. So anyways, I'm a native Idahoan, and I started my real estate career in 1980. By the late 80s, 88, 89, drive-by shootings, robberies, serious crimes like that, it started taking place from the Oregon border to Boise. And by 1990, they had really exploded here in the area. And so a drive-by shooting took place in Caldwell one time. The following day, it came out in the Nampa newspaper, full page, front color, front page, multiple photos, another drive-by shooting happens in Caldwell. I didn't like that very much because I'm a resident of Idaho, but I just said, well, that's happening everywhere. 2 weeks later, it happened in Nampa, a drive-by shooting happened in Nampa, and you had to go inside the front page, no photos, a 1-inch paragraph that said drive-by shooting happened in Nampa, police are investigating. This went on and on and on until finally about the middle of 1990, I called the Caldwell or the Nampa Press Tribune from my office in Caldwell, and I said, look at what you're doing. I have these copies here. Look, what are you doing to Caldwell? Well, yeah, we don't know. We'll try to be better about it. Well, it didn't stop, and it continued throughout 1990. Drive-by shooting in Caldwell, front page. Drive-by shooting in Wilder, front page. Drive-by shooting in Homedale, front page. When it happened in Nampa or Boise, where the newspapers are, hardly anything stated about them. Another drive-by shooting in Boise, another drive-by shooting in Meridian, another drive-by shooting in Nampa, police are investigating, and that's all you got. So please understand the damage that the media did to Caldwell by this practice by the Press Tribune, especially here in the area. So I want to explain to you that by the mid-90s, the drive-by shootings were basically gone. And most of those crimes that were being done were not by citizens of Idaho, native Idahoans. They were by outside residents that had moved into the area. Their children were causing a lot of these crimes, the majority of these crimes. So anyway, about 1994, 95, a lady contacted me and said, George, I want to buy a house, but not in Caldwell. And she told me why, the crime and all of that. And she said, I want to buy it in the Valley View School District. Well, we couldn't find what she wanted. So one day I called her up and I said, I have a house over here on Bear Lane. I'd like to show it to you. I think it's everything that you want. I showed it to her. She fell in love with it. She wanted to buy it. I said, I need to tell you the house is in Caldwell, not in Valley View. She says, George, I told you I didn't want Caldwell. I said, before you make your final decision, please go down and talk to some of the students at the College of Idaho, at the high school, junior high, and other levels. Talk to some of the parents, some of the business leaders before you make your decision. 3 days later, she contacted me and she said, wow, I cannot believe what I've heard. I want to buy the house. She bought it. 2 years later, I called her up and I said, how is it working out in Caldwell with your house on Bear Lane? She said, George, I love it. Thank you for not listening to me and talking me into, thank you for talking me into living in Caldwell. I won't move from here. I love it. My kids are doing well in school. My husband loves it. It's close to his work. I love it. She said, thank you. So that was right still when a lot of things were being reported in the newspaper and online. And so I have to tell you that I've now owned 4 houses here in Caldwell. I've never moved from Caldwell. I'm in my 4th home. Most of the homes I owned in the late 80s and through the 90s, a lot of times I didn't even lock my door. Nothing happened. And so this last couple that moved in here, as I mentioned to you, they moved in from out of the area. They read online all these horrible things about Caldwell. They live between me and Lake Lowell. I live in El Rancho subdivision south of Caldwell. These folks bought a $580,000 home between here and Lake Lowell. They love it here. They love the downtown. They love the Boise River. They love the walking paths. They just love everything about Caldwell. The gist of this is just be careful. These things happened back in the 80s and 90s, and they're still being reported online about Caldwell. Anybody that comes into Caldwell today falls in love with downtown Caldwell, the Indian Creek Plaza, the Indian Creek itself, all the shops, the walking paths, everything about downtown Caldwell is wonderful. Please don't let what happened decades ago that is still posted on the internet affect your decision here. Keep in mind, these newspapers are powerful. The media is powerful. We've already learned that with the coronavirus and the presidential election. So just be very, very, very careful what you believe when you read it online about Caldwell and the crime. Come here, look for yourself, talk to people and see what you like. If you don't want to buy in Caldwell, fine. There's a lot of wonderful areas, and I'm not bad-mouthing Nampa, Boise, Meridian, none of those areas. They're all wonderful areas. Just don't let the media dictate where you buy your next home, because it's important to you and your family. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Be blessed, and I hope everybody is good and safe. If you have any questions, give me a call. My information will be at the end of this video and below in the description. Thank you.